Hello and welcome to our new series on Unity learning using the latest Unity 6.2 version. And in this session, we are going to explore some of the learning materials which are readily available in the Unity site itself, which is far better than many of the Unity tutorials available on YouTube. So to begin with, the very first thing you need is an Unity account. Open your browser and just type Unity 3D. And the very first link here is unity.com. Click on this link. To start with, you have to first create an account. You can click on this avatar icon over here and click on the sign in or create Unity ID button. If you already have an account, you can start type using the email, or otherwise click on create an account and enter your email ID and then click on continue and mention your name, then full name, and then enter your password. Now click on sign up. Open your Gmail account and you would have received confirm your email address. Click on this and click on this link to confirm email. Now once the link is confirmed, you can now see that you are logged in with your email ID. You can load to download, and the very first thing you need to download is the Unity Hub. So you have different platforms here and I am going to choose Windows. You can see the Windows Unity Hub software getting downloaded here. Now once it is downloaded, click and open the downloaded folder and double click on this Unity Hub setup into 64 file. Click on I agree for this license agreement. Then the default location of this Unity Hub will be C program files Unity Hub. Leave it as it is. Click on install, and now once it is installed, click on finish. As soon as the Unity Hub opens, you see this sign in option. Click on the sign in button and this is going to open the sign in page in your browser. Enter your email ID and then click on continue. Enter your password and click on sign in. Now once you are logged in, you will see the option here open Unity Hub. Click on open Unity Hub and you will be immediately logged into your Unity Hub. And before I start the installation of Unity version, I am going to come into the settings and you have the project location. And if you come into the install, you have install location. If you have sufficient space on system hard disk, you can install it directly there. If you doesn't have sufficient space on system hard disk, you can click on browse and choose any of your external hard disk. I am going to come into the E drive and I am going to select the Unity folder, and for the download location, I am going to choose E Unity, and in this I am going to choose the downloads folder. I have selected these two paths, and for project I will click on the browse button on the right hand here, and in E I am going to create a new folder called as Unity projects in E drive. I am going to open this and I will save all my projects in this Unity projects. I will close the settings window, come into installs here. So I will click on install editor, and the latest version we have here is Unity 6.2, and click on the install button. You have Unity Visual Studio Community Edition, and I am not going to install this because I am going to use Visual Studio Code as my editor. So then in platform, I have enabled Android build, iOS build, tvOS, Vision OS, Linux, all these are optional. If you have space, you can enable it. Right now, since I have sufficient space, I have enabled all the options here, or you can just enable Android build, iOS build, WebGL, that is web build support. These three, and Windows build support. These four will be sufficient. Right now, I have enabled all the options here, and it is going to take about 32 GB of space. And once I have enabled it, I am going to click on the continue button. This will ask for a license agreement of Android SDK and NDK. I will click the option I have read and agreed to the above terms and condition, and then click on the install button. You can see the installation progress here. So you can now see that the installation is complete, and if you click here, you can see all the components that has been installed, and you can also see the components installed over here. Now before we proceed to edit our code, we need Visual Studio Code. I will come into the browser and I am going to type Visual Studio Code, and the very first link here, code.visualstudio.com, click on the link here to open it, and you have the download button here, download for Windows. and I am going to click on this link. Now come to the download folder and just double click on this Visual Studio Code user setup file. Click on I accept the agreement, click next and leave it at the default path here and click next. Click next and here enable create a desktop icon, add open with code both for Windows Explorer and directory context menu. I have register code, add to path, and enabling all the options here, click next and then click on the install button and wait for the installation to complete. Now once the installation is over, you can see this launch Visual Studio Code is enabled. Click on finish. So when you launch it first time, you see this welcome screen. You can come into the extensions here. I am going to come into search extension and I am going to Unity. I am going to select this Unity, see that it is provided by Microsoft.com and I am going to install it. All this C# development kit, everything will be installed. You also have Unity tools here. You can select this and click on the install button. Click on trust publishers and install. You also have the Unity code snippets. You can select this and click on the install button and click on trust publisher and install. Our Visual Studio Code installation is over. I will just close this welcome window and I will also shut down Visual Studio Code. Now before we proceed further, if you come into the YouTube description or in the LMS page, I have provided you with a Patreon link. So you can just click on this Patreon link and this is going to open page, and if you scroll down, you have one attachment here, Unity Profile Contents.Unity package. Just click on this and download this entire package to your machine. Once this 123 MB package is downloaded, you can just copy it and store it in a folder. I am going to just cut it from here, and in the H drive I am going to create a new folder and I am going to call this as Unity Profile, and inside this folder I am going to paste package file. So with the resources ready, let us now start working on Unity. I will launch Unity Hub, come into project, and as of now we doesn't have any project here. I will click on new project and you have 4 tabs here, all, core, samples and learning. Come into core and I am going to select this Universal 3D SRP, and on the right hand side in the project name I am going to call this as Unity_Profile, and now click on create project, and as soon as you launch it, on the right hand side in the inspector window you are seeing URP empty template, and this is not required. You can just click on remove readme assets, and in the confirmation window click on proceed. To get the same view as you are seeing on the screen, you can come to the right hand side. You have the layout here. You can click here and you have various options here, and I am going to choose the default layout. And in default layout basically you have 4 sections. On the left hand side you have the hierarchy section, then in the center you have scene and game, and on the right side you have inspector, and at the bottom you have project and console window. Come into the project and you have a folder here called as assets. Right now you have scene, setting and input system. I will come into assets, right click and come into import package, choose custom package. Come into the folder where you had downloaded, select that Unity Profile Content.Unity package file and click on open. You have this import Unity package. See that this all option is selected and click on import. This will take a few seconds to import all the assets into your project. Once the package is imported, you will see this TMP importer option, and in this you can just choose this import TMP essentials. Click on this option and it is going to import TextMesh Pro component into your project, and once it is imported you can just close this TMP importer. You can also access this TMP importer coming into Window, TextMesh Pro, and from here you can import essential resources and also TMP examples and extras. So if I select this, you can select all here and click on import. Once everything is imported, come into the console window. You can now see that you have some errors here. To rectify this error, you come into project window. In asset, you have a new folder called TextMesh Pro. Double click to open it, come into resources and you have TMP setting. Select TMP settings and in the inspector, you have disable warnings here. You just enable this. Come into console window and clear all the errors. We have set our Unity platform ready to start working on our project.